Okay, let's say that you've written a chapter, or you've created all your lesson content, and now you want to actually create a PowerPoint based off of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my chapter, or whatever I'm basing it off, open off to the side, and I'm just going to stick this on a different screen, one that's not getting recorded. And I'm going to open up my Google Chrome. And I'm going to go to the Google Drive. And if you don't remember how to sign into the county Google Drive, there is a video on the site administration training page, probably the page that you are currently on when you're watching this video. And if you'll remember from past videos, what I'm doing right now actually is I'm trying to find a template that I can base my PowerPoint on, so that I can keep the fonts the same and the spacing the same, and just keep the general feel about the same. And so I'm going to go and download this PPE one, but if you'll remember, we had errors with that last time. You try to download it, clicking on this download button here, and it's going to come up with this error page. And the reason for that is it's a security feature that Google puts in. It doesn't want, if you are signed in as a different person here than here, it doesn't want you to be able to download that. Now, we could change this. We could sign in with the county, but that's just going to mess up a bunch of my settings, and it would mess up a bunch of your settings. We don't want to do that. Instead, we're going to click on these three dots just to the right of that picture, and we're going to go to New Incognito Window. And there we go. You see, we're not signed in as anybody now. That's kind of a nice thing. If I type down Drive, unfortunately, I can't just click and sign into it like I could before. I'm going to have to type down something. I'm going to type down cache count. There's no Y there. Safety training at gmail.com. Okay, great. Now we're going to hit next. Oh, did I miss something? I missed something. It's cache count road safety and training. Did I have? Okay, something is spelled wrong. Oh, no. Cache count road safety and training. There was an extra G in there. Okay, that should work. Okay. That might be a bit of a pain. So you can just see it. 127, capital P, lowercase h, I, $E. Big 127, fish. Okay, let's get into the drive. Oh, you know, that was kind of a weird way of doing it, but I'll show you what I did. You could just click this My Drive, and that would be easier. If you accidentally click that, you just click on this one. Go to Drive. Okay, cool. There we go. Now we're in here, and we don't have that Chrome browser versus Chrome session conflict thing going on. So it's going to actually let us download that. Let me go to the personal protective equipment. This is the one I want to use. And let me download it. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to download that to my desktop. And it is fast internet connection. That's nice. Okay, we can open that. And it's going to have this little protection thing on here that says we're not going to let you edit it unless you say that you want to. And so we're going to say, yeah, enable editing. And now I can edit it. And I can use this as my template. I could have used the dummy module, but this one's actually a lot closer to what I want to do. Now, you'll notice, enable content. So that enable content allows us to watch these YouTube videos inside our PowerPoint. And I use that a lot when I'm doing PowerPoints. You'll notice that I have all these notes, and this is good. This helps me when I'm presenting. I can look at my speaker notes, and these are kind of like my cue cards. But I don't want to have that on every single page of my thing. In fact, I don't even need all of these. I need a couple pages that I can copy and paste over and over again, and I can use as my templates. So I'm going to get rid of a lot of these. I don't need that. I'm going to check. I want most of my pages to look kind of like that. Actually, I want them to look kind of like that. And then I want a title page like that. So I'm going to get rid of everything that's not those. And then I can just right click and I can duplicate for every page that I want. And I'm going to get rid of these things here at the bottom. Okay. There we go. Now what I can do is I can just go in here and edit what these things say and keep my same format. Blue stakes and excavation. Okay, cool. Oh, I really like using ampersands in titles. Maybe that doesn't matter to you, but I think it looks a little bit better that way. Now let me tell you kind of some of the tricks that I do when I'm making a PowerPoint. First of all, there's this thing when have you ever tried to read a PowerPoint slide? Just a full slide. If they put too many words in here, and this one's actually quite a bit more than I usually like to do, there's too many options. It's confusing and it's mind-boggling, and it takes your mind away from the speaker. So there's a rule for people who are really expert at PowerPoints, is that you only have 6 items per slide and you only have 6 words per an item. And so I try to take whatever bullet points I am putting on here. Let's say, okay, here we go. I've got these bullet points right here. I want to get this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Oh man, I'm not sure if I'm going to get it. Maybe I'll divide those into 2 different pages. Well, to make it easy right now, let's say that I want to do this section right here. These 5 bullet points. I could copy those. I could paste them in here. And all of a sudden, that's really hard to read. And why am I doing that? Why don't I just have you read the chapter? The whole point of a PowerPoint is to be a visual aid, not a chapter of text to read. Oh, I've got all these weird polka dots in there too. I'm going to get rid of those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to take every one of these bullet points down to 6 words. And that will make my presentation far more interesting and far more useful, because people will actually remember 6 words and they're not going to remember this. So it's recommended that you call Blue Stakes with your ticket number to check online systems prior to excavation. I'm going to just say call. Maybe I'll just say check. I think check is a good way of saying that. Check with Blue Stakes. To determine which utilities were dispatched. That's pretty good. We could probably get that down a little bit more. To determine. And if you use smaller words, that sometimes helps too. Well, before, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time shrinking that sentence down, but you get the general idea. We're going to try to make this as small as we possibly can, word-wise, and as big as we can font-wise. There's a rule in PowerPoint design that no one's going to be able to see anything on a projector if it's underneath 36 points font. So you want to take that all the way up to... Now let's just pretend I'm not going to go through and make you watch me summarize all these into 6 words, but we'll just pretend that I had gone through and I had made all these points just down to 6 words. And I can do that because I'm going to be talking, so I can say all the extra words, and I want them to hear what I'm talking about, and I don't want them to be busy reading these. And so these are just kind of little things to jog their memory. And I have this as kind of a darker gray, which doesn't show up as well. And there's a reason for that too. Let me expand all this to 36 size print, and look at how much easier this page is to read than it was before. It's still just a little bit crowded. Maybe if I get rid of that line, it won't feel as crowded. There we go. See, everything's on one line, and that's pretty easy. We can make this even easier though. And another thing is, it's nice to have the text on there as a title, but you don't want everyone to just be reading your title. You want everyone to be reading your bullet points. Oh, hold on. That's one thing that looks a little weird. Okay, that looks better. Now everything's the same font. You want everybody to be reading your bullet points, not this. So we're going to leave this kind of that same gray color. I've got 5 points here, and I want to highlight each of them. So I'm going to duplicate this. And this is a really slick way of adding something that looks like some crazy animation, but it's really not. So I have 5 repeats of the same slide. Now I'm going to go through, and I'm going to take this first item on this first slide, and I'm going to turn it white. And then I'm going to go to the next item, and I'm going to turn that white. And I'm going to go through, and I'm going to do this through the whole spiel here. Just each item. There we go. Oh, now my screen died on me. You can see it, but I can't see it. There, let me drag this off. Gotta reset my screen. Hold on just a second. Oh, I don't know that that's going to work. Here, let me just change which screen you're seeing. Nope. Okay, there you go. All right, sorry about that. Okay, let's just turn that white, and this one white, and this one white. Okay, now watch how this looks. As I scroll through, it's highlighting what I'm talking about. And that is a really nice effect. You just push the button when you want to go to the next one, and it highlights, and everyone's eyes just automatically go there. And so that's a really aesthetically pleasing way of drawing people's attention to the specific point that you're talking about. Really kind of helps to let all these other things fall into the background. Okay, and then one more thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my chapter. Ooh. How do I do this? I know how to do this. Okay. Here's my chapter. Okay, this was all my text that I'm basing that section off of. I'm going to copy it and stick it in my speaker notes down here at the bottom so that when I'm actually presenting this, I can see the chapter right there in front of me. All right, that is how I would do a really short PowerPoint. You can see how you would, you duplicate this. When you go to your next slide, you can start changing how this stuff looks up here and then changing all this. So anyway, that's how I build PowerPoints. And I'll show you later on how to upload those to Moodle.